Tonight on News 3 at 10, hear from some of the 8 Democrats running for Wisconsin governor. And a popular bike trail is about to be redone. Find out how long it will be closed. And beachgoers aren't the only ones dealing with algae in the lakes. How water skiers are dealing with it. News 3 at 10 starts right now.
This is News 3 at 10.
Good evening and thanks for watching News 3 at 10. I'm Amanda Quintana. 6 of the 8 Democratic candidates for governor answered questions as part of a 2-hour forum today. News 3's Amy Reed reports.
We know that this is an area of the state that isn't often traveled by a majority of candidates. We've got to bring them here.
The Democratic primary is getting close.
This is as close as I can get, and I need to make a decision so that I can put the signs in my yard and so that we can be ready for August 14th.
August 14th is an important date for our state, so we need to be informed.
So without further ado, we're going to get started.
6 of the 8 people vying for a chance to take on Scott Walker lined up to prove they could. Not just talking about the man himself, but about his legacy.
Our governor rolled out the red carpet for Foxconn. It was a slap in the face to me and every other person in this state who's worked hard to build a business.
I would repeal Act 10, for instance, and restore the morale of teachers.
We're responsible people. We understand when someone's screwing us. And when you've done it this long, we come to understand the importance of your being removed from office, Scott Walker.
They knew what they were going to talk about beforehand. The group Reedsburg Area Concerned Citizens picked the questions out from a Facebook group and gave them to candidates. They answered their stances on roads, campaign finance laws, factory farms, and eminent domain, which led back to Foxconn.
Wisconsin was played for a chump here. This is a terrific deal for Illinois because they take on none of the risk, none of the cost, and they stand to get close to half of the jobs for Illinois residents.
They also touched on education.
I think that when we approach education, which is the greatest anti-poverty program there can be, we have to use an evidence-based outcome approach to fixing education. All the studies show that the voucher system does not give any benefit to the students that are receiving it at graduation.
In negative ads in the primaries or against Walker in November.
That's a tough one. I will tell the truth about Scott Walker, and they will think it's negative.
No, I won't run negative campaign ads, but I will bring out issues that I believe in, and if somebody else has a different point of view, I respect that.
Which left the people in the crowd with a lot to think about.
I think I've gotten even more confused, but I'm going to talk with I did a car share, and we're going to have a little post-forum, and we will discuss further.
Amy Reed, WISC News 3.
There were 2 candidates that were invited but did not go, Tony Evers and Malin Mitchell. If you missed today, the next time you can hear from these candidates is at the Madison Labor Temple, and that is this coming Saturday. In Dane County tonight, authorities are looking for 28-year-old Aviles Garcia. Garcia is missing from the Dane County Jail, where he's serving a sentence through the jail diversion program for drunk driving. Garcia is from Fitchburg, so police believe he could be there. Anyone with information should call 911. Madison police are looking for information that could lead to an arrest after a robbery at a pizza shop. Around 9 o'clock last night, a man in his mid-20s demanded money from the cashier at the Papa Murphy's on the 6,000 block of Gemini Drive near Cottage Grove Road on the east side. The suspect was able to get away with some cash. Anyone with information is asked to call the Madison Police Department of Madison Area Crime Stoppers. 2 men are in the Dane County Jail tonight after allegedly driving a rental car full of drugs. Officers say they were near a State Street parking ramp early this morning when they found a car that smelled of marijuana. The suspects inside the car were searched by deputies. One had fentanyl and the other had a handgun in his waistband. Inside the car, there was an assortment of drugs, including heroin, pills, marijuana, and another handgun. The Madison Fire Department says improperly discarded fireworks caused a fire Friday night at an apartment building on the 500 block of West Washington Avenue. The fire was on the first floor of the building, causing all the residents to be displaced. 2 people were trapped on the balcony of the second floor. The damage is estimated to cost $50,000. All right, let's turn it over to Lori Mercurio with your First Alert forecast.
Well, we certainly saw beautiful weather this weekend, and things are looking really good this upcoming week as well. Warmer and more humid, at least for a few days. Here's a look back at our time lapse from Platteville from the Queen Bee Radio Sky Cam. You could barely tell this is a time lapse, other than you can see a few cars out there. For the most part, just clear blue skies. Beautiful day. Hope you had a chance to enjoy it. Low to mid 80s here in southern Wisconsin. It was warmer though to the north at 90 in Rhinelander, Minneapolis, Superior and Brainerd, upper 80s for places like La Crosse and Eau Claire, and that's more like what we'll be dealing with tomorrow. That's out ahead of a cold front that will usher in that warm and humid air mass here to southern Wisconsin. Current readings are from the upper 60s in Boscobel and in Lone Rock to 70 in the Dells, Watertown and Janesville, still sitting at 75 in Madison. We'll see temperatures though drop off into the lower 60s overnight, but then we'll climb very quickly tomorrow morning. Overnight lows expected around 63 degrees, clear skies, winds out of the south to southwest at 5 to 10 miles an hour. But again, we'll climb quickly tomorrow, 67 at 7, 84 degrees at noontime, the high 88 tomorrow, but it's going to feel warmer with the heat index. We'll take a look at that warm week forecast coming up in a few minutes.
All right, thank you so much, Lori. Authorities in Sheboygan County are investigating a plane crash that happened last night. The sheriff's office says just before 8 o'clock last night, a privately owned plane flying from Washington Island was forced to land in a field south of County Highway FF and State Highway 32. Officials say the plane lost power while in the air. Luckily, neither of the two people in that plane were injured. 4 people in the Chicago area are recovering tonight after a medical helicopter crashed along I-57 last night. At around 9 o'clock, the helicopter pilot called Mayday and tried to make an emergency landing. 2 other crew members and a patient were on board at the time. The crew is in stable condition while the patient is in critical condition. One of the first Americans killed in action during the 1941 attack on Pearl Harbor is finally reunited with his family. Joseph Johnson was only 22 years old when he was among the 429 sailors and Marines killed aboard the USS Oklahoma. At the time, only 35 of those bodies were able to be identified, but last November, Johnson's nephew was notified that his remains had been found. Thanks to new technology and DNA testing, military scientists were finally able to make a match. A memorial service was held yesterday in Rushford, Minnesota, to welcome Johnson home. A popular figure in the Democratic community is headed to Janesville. Independent Senator Bernie Sanders will be in Janesville next weekend campaigning for Democrat Randy Bryce. Bryce is running to fill Janesville native and Speaker of the House Paul Ryan's seat in Congress once he retires at the end of his term. The two will host a canvass launch party at the UAW Local 95 at 4:15. That is on Saturday. CNN recently released an article highlighting the number of times that Bryce has been arrested, including a drunk driving arrest in Michigan in 1998. Part of a major bike trail in Madison closes tomorrow for 6 weeks. 6.5 miles of the Capital City Trail from Glacier Valley Road off Fish Hatchery Road northeast to Nob Hill Road will be blocked off as Dane County Parks improves the trail's pavement. Signs ADA accessibility and storm drainage. As the trail approaches 20 years old, officials say it's time for some upgrades.
I know that there's some hairy spots on this portion of trail that are in need of some major improvements, so it'll be nice to see those repaired and fixed and the safety improved and some of those drainage issues to be improved as well.
This is just phase 1 of a 3-phase project on the Capital City Trail to continue over the next couple years. Alternate routes information can be found on our website. Well, it's likely not a surprise to many who live in Madison, but a new study shows it's getting more expensive to rent. According to a study from the real estate data firm Yardi Matrix, the national average to rent is now at an all-time high of over $1,400. That's nearly a 3% increase from this time last year. Of the 250 biggest U.S. cities, 88% saw increased rent. In Madison, the average one-bedroom costs just over $1,000 a month. Experts say the increase is a sign of a booming economy and people moving to smaller cities where less apartments are. The city of Milwaukee is suing a scooter sharing business. Bird Rides, Inc. distributed 100 motorized scooters in Milwaukee late last month. The electric scooters are activated by your smartphone and can be left anywhere after a rider is done using one. According to the lawsuit, the city sent a letter to the company warning it that riding the scooters in Milwaukee is illegal, both on sidewalks and in the streets. The scooters can be found in different spots throughout the city, but those caught riding on a city sidewalk or street could face a nearly $100 fine. The lawsuit claims the scooter company refused to stop operations in the city. The city is requesting a temporary injunction to have the scooters removed immediately. Well, it is the last day of a summer tradition in Wisconsin. The Summerfest grounds in Milwaukee were welcoming people for the last day before closing until next year. From noon until 3 today, people were able to get in for free. Arcade Fire and Manchester Orchestra will close out performances at the American Family Insurance Amphitheater. Other bands like Cheap Trick, Nelly, the Wallflowers, and Buckcherry are also performing tonight. Well, blue-green algae has been trouble for beachgoers this summer, but it's also been a problem for the Mad City ski team. They were back on the water tonight after a 3-week-long break. The blue-green algae delayed practice, and high waters kept them off the regular Lake Monona spot because of the no-wake order.
I think our confidence level has always been high because our team just comes together and we link arms when we can. But the stress level, that gets a little out of control sometimes. So we work together and try to help each other out and go, okay, we can get through this. We will get past this moment once again.
This has been the least practice the team has ever gotten in a season, but leaders say everyone is excited to get back in front of the crowds and that they hope waters stay clear. Coming up next on News 3, the latest on wildfires raging in California. News 3 at 10. We'll be right back. More than 2,300 firefighters are battling a huge blaze on the California-Oregon border that's killed one person. There are currently more than 60 wildfires burning across the western states. Manuel Bajorquez has more.
The fast-moving Klamathon fire near the Oregon border has now destroyed 72 structures and is threatening hundreds more as it spreads over 30,000 acres. The flames killed one person and injured two firefighters, including Brandon Feller, who suffered severe burns when his engine caught fire. This blaze near San Diego burned Captain Mike Vasio's ears.
As soon as that wall of heat hit me, I knew I was burned, but it wasn't that bad to where I was going to go down.
He returned to the firefight in Alpine, where the flames destroyed homes and triggered evacuations. More than a dozen wildfires are burning in California, and there are spot fires like this too, sparked under oppressive heat and dry conditions.
I was in the house, and all of a sudden I saw flames rise above the golf course, and we were scared to death. The flames came right up to my back lawn.
Near Santa Barbara, where flames destroyed at least 10 homes, residents of Goleta returned to almost ghostly scenes. Others recounted the rush to save their animals.
We were driving through a wall of flames, and every time I see a fire, I get the horses and the trailer out early.
As if the flames weren't enough, heavy rains triggered mudslides like this one in San Bernardino County, where the scorched earth couldn't hold back the water. And across the region, the weekend's triple-digit heat overwhelmed the power grid, leaving crews scrambling to restore electricity to thousands. Those record-breaking temperatures subsided today, but not by much. And there are red flag warnings across much of the West, including Nevada and Oregon. Manuel Bajorquez, CBS News, Los Angeles.
The so-called holiday fire is currently 80% contained and is expected to be fully contained by midweek. All right, let's turn it over to meteorologist Lori Mercurio. We have kind of humid, hot week ahead.
We do for the most part, yes. We've had very comfortable conditions this weekend, but the heat and humidity will return for several days this week. It won't be the whole week, but certainly as we head toward tomorrow. Here's a look back at the day with our time lapse overlooking the WISC-TV sky cam. And beside the sun that you saw early on there and the trees moving around a bit, you wouldn't even know that this was a time lapse. Of course, it's recorded though, but clear blue skies across the region today. So nice to see that. We did reach 84 degrees today after a morning low of 59, 82 and 61 are average for this time of year. Tuesday will be fairly close to average. The rest of the week, though, we'll see highs in the mid to upper 80s. So yes, it will be a one of those typically warm summer weeks. High temperatures across the region here, low to mid 80s here in southern Wisconsin, but the warmest air actually up to the north, upper 80s for places like La Crosse, Eau Claire. In fact, 90 degrees in the Twin Cities, Brainerd, Superior, and Rhinelander as well. And it's going to feel more like that for us tomorrow. That's out ahead of a cold front that has been producing showers and thunderstorms across portions of Minnesota, heading into the UP as well. That's where there is a severe thunderstorm watch in effect, at least for parts of Minnesota there, until 11 p.m. That front will approach our area as we head toward tomorrow, but we're not going to see much, if anything, out of that. Current temperatures are in the 70s at 75 degrees in Madison. Winds are out of the south at 8 miles an hour. Dew point sitting at 62 degrees. We do have some upper 60s for places like Boscobel and Lone Rock right now. 66 actually up toward Camp Douglas, sitting at 70 in Janesville, 69 in Watertown. And those dew points are generally in the upper 50s to low 60s right now. We're going to see those increase, though, into the mid to upper 60s as we head toward tomorrow afternoon. So you're definitely going to feel the humidity, especially by late day. Future track will take us through the 60s tonight, lower 60s for lows. There's the look at 6 a.m. tomorrow morning. Partly sunny skies expected tomorrow as that cold front moves in. Maybe an isolated shower or thunder shower. Really not seeing much across the area. It's about a 20% chance. Look at those temperatures, though, upper 80s. And again, we're going to have higher heat index values. We'll drop into the low to mid 60s by Tuesday morning and see highs in the afternoon in the low to mid 80s. But we're going to lose the humidity, at least for the most part, as we head toward Tuesday and Wednesday. Your forecast for overnight: clear skies, not as cool, 63 for the overnight low, with a south to southwest wind at 5 to 10 miles an hour. temperature. Tomorrow will be heating up into the upper 80s and it will be more humid as well. So heat index values will climb into the low to mid 90s, maybe an isolated shower or thunder shower late day into the evening hours. Most of us, though, will be dry. Tuesday looks beautiful. Sunshine, warm but less humid. A high of 83 degrees, a northeast wind at 5 to 10 miles an hour. As we continue into midweek, we'll have plenty of sunshine as we head toward Wednesday with highs in the middle 80s, 86 degrees, sunny skies. Still in the mid 80s on Thursday, but it will be more humid. Slight chance of a shower or thunderstorm. Upper 80s as we head toward Thursday, Friday, Saturday as well. With that, humid conditions. Just a slight chance of a shower or thunderstorm Friday and Saturday. A better chance as we head towards Sunday, a high of 87 degrees. Still a slight chance for Monday, 84. Better chance of rain as we head toward the following Tuesday, and then looking good by Wednesday. So it's one of those weeks that you have a couple extra days off or have some time after work to head to the area lakes and pools.
Yes.
It'll be perfect for that.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Well, the Brewers are the best team in the National League, but how many of them made it to the All-Star game? I'll show you. That's coming up next in sports.
News
Okay, so here's some food for thought. The Brewers have the best record in the National League, third best in all of Major League Baseball, yet zero, that's right, 0 Brewers were named to the starting lineup in the All-Star game. Kind of rude, if you ask me, which, by the way, the game is 1 week from Tuesday on July 17th. Josh Hader, though, is in the National League pitching rotation, and Lorenzo Cain and Christian Yelich both on the reserves roster. Now, Jesus Aguilar left off of all those lists, which is a little bit perturbing considering he and Nolan Arenado lead the National League in home runs with 22 of them. But fans can vote Aguilar on MLB.com. Voting ends on Wednesday at 3 p.m. Central, so Brewers fans, you know what to do. Meanwhile, the team looking much better today against the Braves. Big third inning. Up 2-0 Brewers. Hernan Perez, a big shot out to center field. 3-run home run, 5-0 Brewers. Fast forward now to the 7th. The guy we just mentioned, Jesus Aguilar, crushes that Sam Freeman pitch to right field, one of his 2 home runs on the day, 6-1 Brewers. To the 8th inning now, Eric Thames at the plate and 452 feet into the second deck. That's his 13th home run of the year. Brewers bats come alive again, 10-3 the final score. They head to Miami tomorrow. Now, despite the Brewers' record, the team evidently looking to beef up that roster just a little bit more in the form of Baltimore Orioles shortstop Manny Machado. Now, 7 teams aiming to trade for the 26-year-old, and the Dodgers and Brewers are reportedly the 2 most aggressive contenders. Machado has had a ridiculous 2018 season, batting .310 with 21 home runs in 87 games. His contract expires at the end of this season. Cubs, a game and a half behind the Brewers coming into this game. Extra innings for them, bases loaded for David Bodie. And it's a walk-off walk. A little uneventful, perhaps, but the Cubs will take it. They win 6-5. They head to San Francisco tomorrow night. The Bucks and free agent center Brooke Lopez coming to an agreement today. The 30-year-old played for the Lakers last season and will reportedly sign a 1-year, $3.4 million deal with the Bucks. Now, he should be the starting center, and by the way, this move has Milwaukee $15 million below the hard cap, with restricted free agent Jabari Parker still unsigned. Meanwhile, some summer league action from Vegas. Bucks facing the Mavericks today. And Travis Trice here, who, by the way, he is indeed the older brother of Badger guard Demetrius Trice. The pick and roll to Christian Wood for the bucket here. And then later, we've got Sterling Brown on the team this summer as well. He will go for the slam dunk way ahead of that one-hander. He had 14 points in the game, but Dallas taking this one 81-78 the final. The Bucks 1-1 on this young summer league season. And finally tonight, Tampa Bay Rays outfielder Carlos Gomez, this is peculiar, apologizing to a Gatorade cooler with this sign saying he hopes that they can be cool again. So what prompted this whole spiel? Well, check this out. Yikes. He struck out in his at-bat 2 days ago and decided to take his anger out on said cooler, not the exact one, obviously. Ooh, got a punch in there, too. Because that one was obviously toast, but hey, at least he is making amends, and at least he's not hitting any people. I guess, right?
Maybe Gatorade will forgive him. Maybe
Yes.
they'll tweet about it or
Yes,
something. I hope.
they're working on their forgiveness right now.
All right, we'll be right back.
Here's a final look at your forecast. A warm week ahead, 63 for the overnight low, 88 on Monday with heat index values in the low to mid 90s, mid to upper 80s just about all week long. Slight chance of a shower storm late tomorrow.
Thanks for joining us. Have a great night.
Download the new Channel 3000 app and get alerted on your mobile device the minute news breaks. Wherever you go, be the first to know with Channel 3000.